Welcome to the California wine country. Beautiful weather and spectacular scenery. It's home to the fertile soil that promotes a perfect grape. With time and care, these grapes evolve into vintage wine. It takes skill. It takes patience. It's a fine art that only the best have learned how to achieve. It's not that different from trying to groom the perfect racer. Now the time has come for 42 racers to answer the challenge as the Sonoma Valley welcomes NASCAR to Northern California and Sears Point Raceway. Good wine and good drivers, both are difficult to find. 33-year-old Tom Hubert grew up on the ovals and didn't even run his first road course race until 1991, right here at Sears Point. Today, he's on the pole for the 8th race of the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series. Tomorrow, he starts 10th in the Winston Cup race. He feels maybe he's been pigeonholed as a road racer, but he just wants to be a racer. Like good wine, Tom has gotten better with age, and today he's hoping his skill and his patience are rewarded with the sweet taste of California champagne in Victory Lane.
ESPN Speed World welcomes you to the beautiful Sonoma Valley, Sears Point Raceway, as we get set for NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series action, the Yahoo Sports 200. Well, this series has been in existence for 13 years, and during the 1998 campaign, they'll visit 12 racetracks in 5 different states before crowning the champion of this year. As we enter this race, M.K. Kankey has a 115-point advantage on Steve Portengay in the point standings. But look at 6 through 10. They're separated by only 25 points. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins, along with Benny Parsons. We talk about how this area nurtures grapes. Well, we're nurturing some rookies here today because even if you've raced here for many years, you're a rookie because it's a new racetrack.
Well, this is a brand new racetrack. In years past, this racetrack was 2.5 miles in length and 12 turns. And you see the shaded areas 5 and 6. Those turns are gone. Here's a new racetrack straight across from 427. You can take a look from our helicopter as we look down at the racetrack, and you can see where the racetrack used to go. There's the carousel up to turn 7. Good passing zone here, but all that's gone. The cars go straight across here, through a little kink there over to turn 7, and all the way down to here. I've been trying to figure out what we call this spot there, because this racetrack, this new chute they're calling it, is very wide. That spot is very, very narrow. A guy last night called, I think the best name so far, the Eye of the Hurricane, ending the S's. Now, we have a man that's part of our team this afternoon. He qualified 8th for the Winston Cup race tomorrow. Kyle Petty, how is he coming off the chute into turn 8?
I tell you, Benny, it shows you how screwed up the racetrack it is when I can qualify 8th at a place like this. But the racetrack's totally different. And the problem is they've taken out places to pass. There's turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4. Then it jumps to turn 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, back down to turn 11. The problem is those middle turns, the carousel as it was known, was a great place to pass coming off that and going into the far end hairpin. Those places are gone now. So we've been calling it the drain because it's draining our patience trying to figure out how to get around people on this racetrack now.
Well, the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series will be testing it here in just a moment as they'll go 64 laps this afternoon on a beautiful day in the Sonoma Valley. We'll be back with the starting lineup and the green flag in a moment. ESPN Speed World coverage of the Yahoo Sports 200 from Sears Point, being brought to you by Quaker State. Sensible technology, what more do you need to know? And by the more than 1,900 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. The field on its warm-up laps here before we get going for 64 laps of competition. We might mention right now that Dr. Jerry Punch, who's usually in this chair, is a little under the weather, having a bit of laryngitis. We're saving his voice so that he can be with us for the NASCAR Winston Cup race tomorrow. Today's field consists of 37 Chevrolets, 3 Pontiacs, and 2 Fords, and Chevrolet leads the Manufacturers Championship in the series by just a single point over Pontiac. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for today's race. Tom Hubert will be on the pole. He's also qualified for the Winston Cup race tomorrow. Jim Inglebright alongside. A lot of these names, of course, you're familiar with from our Winter Heat Series out in Tucson, Arizona in the early part of the year. Now take a look at 16 through 30 in the lineup. M.K. Kanke, the points leader going into this event, will start in 22nd position.
And Butch Gilliland, the defending Winston West champion, back in 17th spot, had a weekend off, as well as Sean Woodside, another Winston West competitor. And the yellow arrows, you can see provisional, and they had a B main or a last chance race, and all the fellows with the one single arrow. That was the 8 cars that qualified, along most notably Herschel McGriff.
The ageless Herschel McGriff.
The 070, I think we can turn that around. He would be 70 years old or about.
That's exactly right. He is 70 years of age, but still quite a competitor.
There we saw Kenny Shepard. Bill Weber has something from the pits. Bill?
Well, you're talking about the starting lineup and how difficult it is to pass here. Well, Kurt Busch has already passed a bunch of cars, only going the wrong way. He qualified 19th, but was late to the drivers' meeting and will have to start this race at the rear of the field. That's a very, very poor starting position and a bad mistake by Kurt.
Yeah, you can see there's the entire field of cars. That blue car at the very, very end, that's Kurt Busch in the 70 car, the Star Nursery car out of Las Vegas. The lights are off atop the pace car, means that when these get to the start-finish line, we'll go green.
We'll look at the race analysis. The record here held by Doug George. There's a pole speed over 97 miles an hour, and they should be able to go 30 to 40 laps before needing a fuel stop. Here's the green flag, and we are racing at Sears Point. Up the hill they go into turn number 1. Hubert grabs the lead from Inglebright as the field moves uphill.
And look at Chris Rodman dive on the inside of his brother. That's Chris in 93. Craig in the black number 2. And give it to Craig Rodman. I mean, Chris Rodman. I'll get it.
I thought I would have the trouble, and here you are having the trouble. There's the 21 car.
Kenny Peterson.
Steve Portengay driving the 14. And now they head for the chute for the first time, Benny. They're through it and headed for turn number 7.
And headed to the eye of the hurricane. There we see that really wide racetrack narrows down to 1 lane. So far, so good. As Hubert brings the field through the S's.
Chris Rodman still running in 3rd position. And then his brother right behind him as the rest of the field comes through turn number 10. Now they head for the final corner before the start-finish line, and the battle is for 4th spot.
That's Greg Biffle in the 28 car getting a challenge from Peterson in 21. The yellow and black car that we saw just a moment ago, Mark Reed out of Bakersfield, California.
And the first lap is concluded with no problems. On board with Mark Reed.
Goes up turn 2, shifts down to 2nd gear, accelerates off that corner. That's Steve Petty, the 01 car he's trying to catch. We'll see Mark Reed.
Mark Reed was last year's pole sitter for this event. Look how wide that chute is. This is what Benny was talking about. Look how much room they've got, but now they narrow down in the number 3
pressure
car.
from the rear now. No
Rudy
pressure.
Revac from Los Gatos, California, has spun.
And he finally gets the car started, and away he goes. That was up in turn 3. He's almost a half lap down now. Back to the lead. Tommy Hubert getting a challenge from Inglebright. I'm told Inglebright in the 20 car, the Wonder Bar, we're right along with him, came here, must have tested 10 days. He really wants to win this race today.
I thought maybe he was going to make a move on Hubert there in turn 11, but he did not. Falls in behind him as once again they go up the hill. There's a tremendous elevation change from down to the start-finish line to right about where they are now.
And they go down a little bit, and they start back up the hill again. These shots from a Pennzoil copper cam. Now, they used to turn right and to go down the carousel. No more. They see we just bypass that across the chute. And look how wide that racetrack is, just how narrow those cars are. And look how this racetrack narrows down right there to nothing.
Yep. And the number 7 car of Frank Moronsky is off course, back on, however, with no problem. That occurred up there around turn number 7, coming through the S's again. Back up front, meanwhile. It is still Hubert leading. They head for turn 11 once again. This time a little more breathing room as Engelbright is back there in second, and Chris Rodman running third right now. Craig Rodman fourth, and Greg Biffle is running in 5th position as lap number 3 has been completed. Our leader, Tom Hubert. There's a look at the top 10. We'll be back with more of the Yahoo Sports 200 from Sears Point Raceway in California in a moment.
Your first time buyers.
Ever try to buy a car
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
only to have your credit rejected?
What do you people take me for, an idiot?
Get out of here. Get lost.
Don't give up. Come to Reno Subaru Hyundai. Our business depends on getting you financed. We go the extra mile to get your credit approved. So when others say no, Reno Subaru Hyundai says yes.
It's an interleague assault on the Big Apple when Tino and the Bombers battle for bragging rights against Piazza and the boys from Shea. Yankees, Mets, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. It's a grand game.
Welcome back to Sears Point. We're riding on board with the second place car of Jim Engelbright. Up ahead, the leader of the race and the pole sitter for this event, Tom Hubert. There you see the top 5 as 4 of the 64 laps have been completed.
As we ride along with Engelbright, let's take a ride around the course, down through the S's. This is turn 9. And back to the right, this is turn 10. Now they accelerate down to the short chute. This is the best place to pass, but you got to get close enough to outbrake that car in front of you as you go in turn 11. And we see the cars duck down right to the very bottom of the racetrack, right against those tires. Accelerate off the corner. This is what we call turn 12 to the start-finish line. We could probably get a better shot from the sky, from our helicopter, as Engelbright goes up. That's turn 1. And then uphill, that dramatic elevation change Bob Vickers was talking about.
We have a spin here in the S's in front of us. It's the number 65 car driven by Jeff Hill from Hanford, California.
And that steam that we see is probably water or engine. I think he's lost an engine in the S's.
And if the car can't move, it'll bring out a caution. It does. We are under yellow for the first time here this afternoon. On the 6th lap, 5 have been completed.
And we see Jeff Hill climbing out, and he wants to get away from that car quickly.
The spin has occurred in turn number 9, and we are over all caution.
He's going to take the hood off and check things out while he's doing nothing.
Yep. Here's a replay of what happened.
There we see, I would guess the engine goes, the oil gets under the tires, the fluids, and around he goes. We saw Kurt Busch going by there, and he's worked his way forward. He's up to 31st spot now after starting back in 42nd spot.
So Jeff Hill's spin brings out the first caution here this afternoon. It is still Tom Hubert showing the way in the Yahoo Sports 200 at Sears Point.
Hey, Mr. Science, ever wonder what a hard-working engine goes through? It gets the high rev, and I drove over the mountain because it was their crap kicked out of it. With abuse like that, you don't want to take chances. This is Quaker State 4x4, a synthetic blend for hard-working engines made by guys with more college degrees than they've had dates. It's been tested. For pure maximum protection, there's nothing better. I wouldn't lie to you. They're not paying me enough. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Turtle wax. Some people say clear coat cars don't need wax. Clear coat's thinner than the piece of paper. So what protects the clear coat? New Turtle Wax Emerald Series car wax.
Waxing with Emerald Series puts down 4 times the carnauba wax as the #1 brand, with no powdery residue.
Do your best wax job ever. Turtle Wax Emerald Series.
Emerald Series is the best hard shell finish. Turtle Wax.
And come down hard on grease with new Turtle Wax Purple Muscle Heavy Duty Cleaner.
Roger. Jack.
I'm gonna be a while. ESPN Speed World at Sears Point Raceway today, and a lot of coverage coming up. 7 o'clock. It's RPM tonight on the Deuce. Happy Hour for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series is on at 10 o'clock tonight, also on the Deuce. And then tomorrow, RPM today at noon, NASCAR today at 3:30. An hour live flag-to-flag coverage of the St. Mark Cragen 350 NASCAR Winston Cup race at 4 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN. We are under caution at Sears Point for the first time in this race. Jeff Hill spun in turn number 9, and they still have yet to move the car, as the wrecker, I guess, is on the way to get it on the hook. Meanwhile, from the Pennzoil copter cam, we saw the field moving through turn number 11.
Some of the crowd in attendance here at Watkins Glen, and there so you see Sears Point. I said Watkins Glen, didn't I?
You did?
Sears Point, California. I know the difference. Watkins Glen's in New York. This is in California.
Busch Series running at Watkins Glen this weekend.
That is correct. There we see the drag strip at the very top of our picture.
And that is turn 11 to these guys. They come down the short straightaway, and right beyond this straightaway is the start-finish line. And speaking of that Busch Series event, it will be on ESPN at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. The Lysol 200. Boris Said is on the pole for that race, and Ron Fellows will start alongside. So you get a full afternoon of racing here on ESPN tomorrow afternoon. First, the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division at 12:30, and then our Winston Cup race at 4 o'clock. While they are continuing to clear the track, we'll take another break and be back with more live action in just a moment. The Yahoo Sports 200 NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series.
It happens every year in some of the most remote stretches of land in Mexico. And in the world of off-road racing, it's truly the whole enchilada. The legendary Baja 1000. A mountain of dust for those who can stand to eat it. And the end of the line for those who can't. That's why more drivers who challenge the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast you can rely on in your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Hi, I'm Rusty Wallace, and I race for beer. And now you can too. Go to any Hooters restaurant and compete in the Great Race for Beer sweepstakes. Win great prizes like racing jackets and hats. So make a pit stop into Hooters. Minute 15 seconds. Great time, girls. Hey, with a pit crew like this, who's in a hurry?
Catch all the excitement of the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series each week on ESPN2.
Want to make painting easier? Change your roller to a Wagner cordless power roller. There's less mess, less hassle, and less bending over because you control the flow of paint. So you can just keep on rolling. In fact, with the power roller and its accessories, you'll get professional results nearly twice as fast. It even turns cleanup into an easy job. So get a cordless power roller from Wagner and transform every room in your house.
Recently, Miller Lite noticed ordering from the old label took too long.
Light beer from Miller.
So they changed the label to read
Miller Lite.
This saves time. Now, the more you order, the more extra time you'll have for other things. This couple decided to check and see what's behind the refrigerator.
What will you do with your extra Miller time?
Welcome back to Sears Point. There's Jeff Hill's car. It has not been moved from the location where it came to rest, well, a few feet, but apparently the officials have decided to leave it there. Now, he did dump quite a bit of fluid onto the racetrack, and they're just now concluding that cleanup. This is what happened in turn number 9, bringing out the first caution of the afternoon.
And we see the car just abruptly spin around. And when he stopped, folks, there was a tremendous amount of oil that seeped out of the car onto the racetrack. And that's one reason that NASCAR chose to push the car out of the way, because they feel like pushing the car back to the pit area, that they're going to get oil on the racetrack for the next half mile. They've got to try to clean up before they let these guys go back to green. So hopefully we'll see green flag next time by.
Well, we're going to introduce to you the coolest thing to hit the telephone since call waiting, the NASCAR online phone browser at 1-900-5-NASCAR. It begins tomorrow. Now, don't try to dial it up today. It will begin tomorrow for only $1.49. You can use your telephone to browse all the great information from NASCAR's official online site, www.nascar.com. Again, this starts tomorrow, 1-900-5-NASCAR. We'll be right back.
Do you live in Carson City? Attorneys based in Reno, Tahoe, and even Las Vegas are advertising here in Carson. You deserve a local attorney insurance companies take seriously. Call me for a free appointment.
The place to be this Saturday night is Carson City's Silver State Raceway. The Great Western Super Modified Open Competition returns with all their cars and stars in a World Championship event. See the world's fastest short track race cars, 800 horsepower, fire-breathing monsters this Saturday night at the Silver State Raceway in Carson City, the Great Western Super Modified. And after the races, race over to the Ormsby House for more great fun. Don't miss the action this Saturday night at the Silver State Raceway in Carson City, and bring the whole family.
In the battle to protect your children from violent crime, you have a weapon. 1-800-WE-PREVENT. Call now. Together, we will take a bite out of crime.
Program puts you in the action.
Oh, watch out for this guy. I see. Now, I wouldn't have done it that way, but you got by with it.
Dad!
What gear are you in anyway?
Hey, if you think you can do any better, come on up here and drive. Hey, get in the back seat. Sit down. Put that seatbelt on.
NASCAR on ESPN.
Still under caution here at Sears Point as the 65 car of Jeff Hill is off the track, and we should be ready to go back to green before long. Meanwhile, to Kyle Petty.
The 34 car came in the pit right before the green is getting ready to go out right now. Their floats needed adjustment. Benny, you know how they swing left and right and the things begin to flutter? The first 3 or 4 laps of the race, this car had begun to flutter worse and worse, so they had an opportunity to come in, adjust the floats. Bill Weber?
Ken Peterson started 6th and is 6th as this race goes back to green. He can hear his crew chief, but his crew chief cannot hear him. So they're having to relay information through the spotter who's at a different location on the track. Also, they plan to try and win this race with a 2-tire stop under caution. Pit strategy will be important, and that will begin just about 15 laps from now.
And Peterson losing spots right now. He loses a spot to the 0-1 car of Steve Petty and getting a challenge from Portingate, but Portingate cannot quite pull it off.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to maintain that spot after losing one. Ken Peterson in the 21 machine. That's Portingate in the 14 right behind him. McGowan, by the way, a former winner of this race back in 1996, catching up with the rest of the field after that adjustment on pit road. Little sideways coming out of the corner.
And we see that Greg Biffle has moved into the 4th spot. He's between the Robin brothers. That's Chris Rodman, the yellow 93, that's running in 3rd spot, and Craig Rodman, the black 2, that's running in 5th. And Rodman getting a challenge from Petty in the 0-1 car, dives in the corner, and wow.
Boy, just a classic passing attack as he braked a little bit later and was able to get the spot momentarily, but can't maintain it. And so Petty falls in behind Craig Rodman.
And Steve Petty, that's now running in 6th spot. If you're wondering his relationship with Richard Petty, as it was say back in North Carolina, that's a different set of Pettys.
In other words, no.
No.
Up the hill once again to turn number 3.
Matt Crafton, when they threw the green flag, when it came down for the green flag, Matt Crafton made a pit stop. I'm not sure if that was he had a problem or that was some strategy that he was trying to develop for later on in the race. Kyle Petty, what about it?
No, hey, there's no strategy on a flat tire. He felt it go flat on him. He came down pit road. They changed right side tires, I guess, 2 tires, and they're airing up one of them because I guess they've got rules here. I don't understand these rules sometimes where they can only change tires on certain corners so many times, or they've only got a certain amount of tires because there's only 3 or 4 tires laying in each pit.
Crafton started the race in 14th position. There he is. The good news is that did bring Walter and Louise to this racetrack. They're Bulldogs.
Yes. Had to go by and check them out yesterday. As we see Matt Crafton going through the chute.
Meanwhile, back up to the front of the pack. And Hubert continues to maintain the advantage. Is just about a second over Jim Englebright, running in 2nd spot.
And Greg Biffle's been able to move into the 3rd spot, get by the other Rodman.
Biffle, of course, the star of the Winter Heat Series on ESPN2 a couple of years ago, is now a regular in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. But there he is in the white 28, and he has moved to 3rd.
And the reason that he's here, because later on this year, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series will be here. And he's here. He had never been to this racetrack before. Came down to try to get a few laps in anticipation of running Jack Roush's Granger truck here.
There's Chris Rodman in 93, who's fallen back to 5th spot. 4th, make that.
Get a little tail happy off the corner there as he. Now these are bias ply tires, so we'll see the tail on these cars get out a little bit more than you would in a Winston Cup car with the radial tires. We'll see the top 3, 4, 5, the 2 cars. Craig Rodman currently in 5th spot. As you see the sponsor for this race, Penacor. Something to do with the computer business.
There is Petty in red, running in 6th spot. Then behind him is Peterson in 21. As we see the rest of the field come through the chute.
You see Kenny Shepard go by. Remember a couple years ago when he knocked their camera out?
Seeing some flames from the 3-car Rudy Reback, who was one of our early spinners.
And that's the gear. The gear in the back of the car has gotten extremely hot. And Rudy, now would be a good time to pull off the road. Find you a fire extinguisher and pull off. Because I don't think you're going to go forward too much anymore.
He's the most recent winner in the series, having won last week at Portland. But things went awry very early here in this event, spinning, and now showing flame from the gears in the back of the car.
And we see Matt Crafton coming along as we go back to the lead, and Englebright, that 20 car, will not leave Hubert alone. Tommy Hubert in 30, the leader of the race.
He's hanging right in there. Those two, however, have separated themselves a bit from the 3rd place car of Biffle. We're on board with Jim Englebright, who was the 1995 runner-up in the series, has 4 career wins.
Now they're coming down the S's, and Rudy Reback is right before them, running about 30 miles an hour. Just hope that he doesn't try to go across the racetrack in front of these guys to get back to the pits. Oh, they're able to get by, but now he's got to somehow get across the racetrack to get in the pits.
Yep, he's on the wrong side of the road because he's going to enter the pits right there to your right. And another spin. That's Frank Boronsky again. That's the second time this afternoon he's been off course. And again, it was off of corner number 4, headed down toward the chute.
And we see Reback did get across the racetrack. He is to the entrance of pit road. Still got a long ways to go.
Take a look at what happened.
Frank Boronsky comes off the corner, nails the gas, and around he goes. But he stops before he hits anything, puts it in gear, and drives away.
No harm, no foul, but back to the back of the pack. Back down to Kyle Petty.
The report from the crew is the transmission has exploded, which means that evidently that the thing has come apart, cracked the case, and dropped us some fluid on the racetrack. And not only that, but once that gets out into the air sometimes, it'll begin to flame up a little bit, just like when you see rear ends go out at Martinsville and places like that. So he didn't make it back to his pit because he's on the other side, but he's out of harm's way in the infield.
I would see Butch Gilliland, the 98 car, and M.K. Kanky in 87. M.K., the leader of the point standings in 1998, the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Tour.
Was back for about 18th position they were battling for.
We see Butch in the 98 and M.K. in the 87 trying to get alongside.
And he pulls alongside coming down the straightaway, but falls in behind as they head for turn number 1.
The red car behind the red and blue car, Darrell Lamour, number 17.
Kanky has won 2 events this year, has 6 top 5s and 6 top 10s, resulting in his points lead over Portengay.
And he gets by Butch Gilliland.
Gilliland will also be in the NASCAR Winston Cup race tomorrow. We qualified the car of Lake Speed when Lake crashed late in the practice session yesterday morning and visited the hospital. So Gilliland qualified the car.
I would guess that Lake Speed will probably start the car tomorrow and may even run it the entire distance, but Butch will definitely be on standby.
Bill Weber has a report.
Yeah, on the Lake Speed situation, he did get in that Winston Cup car this morning, made a couple of laps, said he was in tremendous pain, much more pain when he got out of the car than before he got in. So right now, I believe the plan is to let Butch actually start that car and go the distance, and that could change overnight. But I talked to Lake just before this race started. He said he was in a tremendous amount of pain. He's going to go relax, lay down for a little while, and they believe that it could be Butch all the way tomorrow in the Winston Cup race here at Sears Point.
Okay, join us at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and we'll find out. There's first and second, and then the interval back to Greg Biffle. It's about almost 3.5 seconds between second and third as the 55 car of Mac McGarry has spun.
And so he's making a pit stop in Gilligan's Island. This is coming off turn 11, and there's not enough pit stalls on the main pit road here, so they put a pit area in the middle of the racetrack in the loop down there where turn 11 is. So some of the cars will be pitting in what's called Gilligan's Island.
McGarry from Sacramento, California. And another spin, apparently the 17 Darrell Lamour, who was running in the top 20.
There we see Kurt Busch, the 70 car, who had to start at the very end of the... Oh, and Darrell's car still a little tail happy as he comes off the corner.
He's fallen back now to about 26th position, lost several. And Benny, it happened in the eye of the hurricane.
There we see just a little contact from John Metcalf in the 0-5. And around goes Darrell, and Metcalf lucky to get by without being involved.
And a problem here on the 63 car of Chuck Billington.
Right front tire is flat. He's just trying desperately to get back.
Stay in your line, Charlie. Stay in line.
Wow. They're going to run over him if he's not careful.
We're going to have to do force. Spotted him going in there.
And he is up on top of the racetrack.
Oh, he's got a long way to go to the pits. A long way to go.
What a tough place to get a flat tire as Bob Lyons goes by.
Okay, you're clear of traffic now. Make sure we get all the fuel. No front brake. We're going to have to go for it. We're going to have to stay out there after this. All the fuel.
He said no front brakes.
It's down on the frame hard. Just get around there, Chuck. Car, there's no brakes on the car.
Wow. It's now in the chute, has all the S's to go
You're going to have to look when you
before
pull that tire off. Make sure he didn't hurt anything underneath there.
he makes it into the pits.
And you see the sponsor, the Save Mart folks, the supermarket people, and also Foster Farms.
Behind you, Chuck.
Well, they're suppliers.
More cars coming.
Here comes Matt Crafton, Doug McCown. And we see the caution workers, the
corner workers
waving the caution flags, signaling to people that there's trouble. And there's a spin down in the 11, turn 11, the hairpin.
That's Dave Bird from Prunedale, California. Now, if that car can't move, we could have a second overall caution. The yellow flags you saw back behind this car indicated you can't pass in that area. Let's see what happened down here.
There's Bird on the black car on the outside. He gets in the corner a little too hard and nails the brakes, and around he goes, and he cannot get the car started, which means the caution flag will be out.
Yep, an overall caution is waving at the start-finish line, and so for the second time, we are under a reduced speed.
Ted, you probably ought to go look.
Down to Kyle Petty.
He's coming down pit road now. If the caution had come out just a little bit sooner, they would have let up, and he might not have got lapped. He got lapped right as they came in to turns 11. He's coming here. He's complaining about the right front, complaining about not having any brakes. He wants them to check everything.
Right there.
The car rolls in here. He just shuts it off as it comes in. He doesn't stop it with the brake. He's trying to get the right front up. They're going to be a while here trying to get this thing up because he's ground the wheel off, too, at the same time.
This is his first
upper control
stock car. He's a six-time national champion in the SCCA C Sport Division, but the first time ever in a full-bodied stock car.
And you can see the man says, cut it off because we've got too much damage to continue. Tough break for Chuck.
So we have another caution after 19 laps here at Sears Point Raceway in California. It's the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series in competition here this afternoon in the Yahoo 200. There are the top 10. Hubert still leads, has since the drop of the green flag.
Townsend, I'd like to get my hands on her.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to put her in drive.
Say hello to the Blank Road Dream. Coming to a track near you. Thanks, and enjoy.
I'm looking for Pine Street.
Go down to the fork in the road. Right, but make sure you take the left fork. Right. Then you see a big brown dog. Keep straight. 2 blocks down the street, you see a man named Slappy selling maps. But don't buy one. So you already got one. Right. Hang a right at Slappy. That's a left, right? A right. Left. Right. Right. Keep straight. Watch out for the goat. Then you see a big McDonald's and... Right. Did somebody say McDonald's? Aren't you glad we brought you here? I'm glad.
It's the Taxi Cab 500, and we're off! When you learn to drive.
At Pennzoil,
Here we go!
we make motor oil that performs under the harshest conditions. Stop and go driving.
Come on!
If Pennzoil can protect these cars at the Taxi Cab 500, maybe you should ask for it next time you change your oil. Stop, go. Pennzoil.
At Blank Road, we don't do everything well. Fortunately, beer is something we do well. Ice House, thanks and enjoy.
A magazine's success starts with the writers.
There hasn't been much in the press about Jordan lately. Does he deserve a cover? I want the lowdown on Eddie Pope. Is he the most popular American in France since Jerry Lewis? And those X-Game kids, are they crazy or just nuts? Print it, baby!
Well, we're under caution here at Sears Point, and Jim Engelbreit is on pit road. They've had a fire extinguisher at the rear of the car, and they've taken the hood off the front of the car. They're not able to determine what the problem is yet, but obviously for Engelbright, it's very severe. He had been running second on the racetrack and had very high hopes for this race. He grew up just 35 miles from this track, but the window net is down, and his car sits on pit road, hood off, crew looking very discouraged at this point, and it looks like the day could be over for Jim Engelbright.
Wow, the guy who finished second here last year to Craig Rodman and who jumped into second place at the drop of the green and stayed there and was looking good until all of a sudden this problem occurred. Now they try to find out what's going on.
And we see the fire extinguisher in the back of the car, like the gear was on fire when they came in, but yet they keep looking in the front of the car, and we see all the oil. I guess that was gasoline they've spilled back there. Huh.
Well, the lead continues to be held by Tom Hubert, but now we have a new second place competitor, and that is Greg Biffle, as Chris Rodman, Craig Rodman, and Ken Peterson complete the top 5. Rejoin us. We go back to green here at Sears Point. The cars once again go uphill to turn number 2. Hubert gets the jump once again, maintains his lead. Biffle is right behind him, and the rest of the field strings up through these corners.
Peterson was alongside Portingate, thought he might take that spot away, not able to quite do it. As you see, Chris Rodman is pushing Greg Biffle down the chute. And now down to the eye of the hurricane right there. So far, it's so good. Down the S's.
These shots overhead, courtesy of the Pennzoil copter cam, having some beautiful blue skies and nice, comfortable weather here to fly in. And the forecast is for the same tomorrow. Now we have a battle for 5th place, it looks like.
It's got to be Portingate and Craig Rodman. Portingate in 14, Craig Rodman in 2. So Portingate has been able to get by the 21 car of Kenny Peterson.
Well, we told you that Jim Engelbright was having a problem. Let's find out about that. Here's Bill Weber.
Jim, what happened to your car?
Boy, I don't know. You know, the Wonder Bar Gold's Chimp Sunny Delight car was running pretty good. We were just kind of sitting back there with Tommy, kind of running our own pace, and we got the yellow. And the only thing I can think of is like a hot piece of rubber got up on the header, got kicked back into the wiring, and caught all my wiring on fire, just kind of shorted the car out.
You got a little hot in there, huh?
Yeah, I had flames coming in, hitting my leg. I just wanted to get it back into the pits just as some remote chance that we could get the fire out and get back out there on the track.
Okay, well, that wasn't able to happen. They had to send the car back to the garage, and it's doubly disappointing for Jim because he had this check waiting, $10,000 from his sponsor, Gold's Gym, if he could have won today.
Wow.
That goes back to the bank. He'll come back and try and get that next time.
And we saw Craig Rodman get off course briefly and lose a few positions.
Yes, he did. He's falling back to right behind Brian Germoni, back to 8th spot. And Germoni's getting a challenge on the outside.
That's the 0-2 car of Brandon Krause.
And look at Brandon.
Okay, but
he gets by Germoni. I don't know, it's kind of undecided yet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still side by side. And they're racing in the corner. Who's it going to be?
As they come uphill, the inside advance. No! Boy, nice move by Krause as he takes that position from Germoni.
Teddy Hendrick in the 68 car, and also Kenny Shepard. This is Kenny Shepard we're riding along with, back in 12th spot. Right in front of him is Kenny Hendrick. Let's see how he gets through this corner. Off the gas quite a long ways because this is a fairly tight corner. Now it gets even tighter as they get to this point.
Up on the rumble strips.
Now, as they accelerate down to turn 11, all these cars trying to fan out, trying to outbrake the other guy. As you see Craig Rodman going to the pits.
Yep.
Butch Gilliland getting a challenge from John Metcalf in the 05 as we see Rodman Get to his pits, and no, that's Metcalf that almost spun as he came off the corner.
Down to Bill Weber.
Craig Rodman is on pit road, and I'd have to believe this is probably a scheduled stop. Guys, we're going to start coming in around lap 24, 25. They feel they can go to the distance. Now, remember, on a road course, you want to try and stop under these conditions. Right side tires going on. Under green, you can take as many...
Grab me a water bottle, somebody.
Want some water? You can take as many tires as you want under green, but only 2 under yellow. And these teams don't do a lot of 4-tire stops. You can see they're losing valuable time here waiting on the left rear. So the left front tire is off. The new one's going on.
And Bill, the leader's coming into turn 11 right now. They need to look up and see, can he beat him out, or is he going to be left? Some trouble back with the left rear.
Still having trouble on the left rear. They've got all the fuel in, having trouble with the lug nuts. He's definitely going to go a lap down as Hubert brings the field through the final turn and heads for the start-finish line. So he throws his hands up in disgust, but Craig Rodman, one of the favorites here, is now off the lead lap.
Man, tough break. It's going to be very difficult for these guys, inexperienced crew members, to go in, change 4 tires, and not lose a lap.
Craig's only win last year was here at Sears Point. This is what happened when he got off the track and lost several positions and then decided to come in for the stop.
There was him in the corner. That's almost exactly the same Mark Martin did yesterday in qualifying for the same Mark Craig in 350.
There's Tom Hubert, and his lead over Greg Biffle is now a little over 2 seconds. So Hubert at the moment having things all his way as Chris Rodman still runs in 3rd spot.
And there we see Craig Rodman once again run off in the dirt as he tries his best to catch up with these leaders. Now with the 4 fresh tires, if the green flag will just stay out for a few laps, he might be able to catch these leaders and get back in the lead lap. He's about 6 seconds behind the leader right now. It's a lot of ground to make up.
Yes, it is. A big task to do. And another car goes off track. Soon as the smoke clears, we'll be able to tell you. It's Bruce Volstead in car 47.
And we see he's got a fender that's very friendly. It's waving to everybody as he goes by. Looks like a beauty queen, doesn't it? Waving to folks as they go by. Check out, John Metcalf is still got this battle going with the 98 car of Butch Gilliland.
That's back for 13th position. Gilliland in 98. Metcalf in 05. Let's take a look again at what happened to the 47 of Bruce Volstead, who comes from the Volstead family that used to own Indy cars and at the Indianapolis 500.
Same spot.
Yep.
As we saw Craig Rodman a moment ago, just gets in there too deep and actually gets in the gravel pit. But he kept the car rolling. He was able to get through.
And we have a car that has gone up into the tire wall. That's Herschel McGriff, the 70-year-old competitor from Portland, Oregon, who's trying to get the car off the tires, but boy, he went in a big way. And while he has problems, Bill Weber has a report.
And could be more problems for Craig Rodman. He was supposed to come to pit road that time, but he stayed out, I believe, because the caution came out. But here's the problem. They had a lug nut go down on that pit stop. That was an additional handicap for them. So he's going to have to come back to pit road here as soon as possible. I believe they're going to need to tighten some lug nuts.
Wow, even more troubles then for Rodman. You can see that the caution is indeed waving. It's the 3rd overall of the event.
And this is one of Ron Eaton's cars that, you know, that runs down in Tucson, the winter heat. And there we see Herschel up in turn 2, and he almost turned over and flipped around. Oh, almost. He's an acrobat, that Herschel is.
I'm telling you. And you can see the competitors as they come up through the hill have to dodge the tires that were scattered by Herschel when he went in. We'll be right back.
What's the hottest thing to happen to pizza? The new Domino's Heat Wave. It works like a portable oven, delivering a pizza that's really hot, really bubbly, and really worth smiling about. Now a large with up to 3 toppings is just $9.99.
In South Dallas, a lot of folks like to work on their cars, and a lot of them come to AutoZone. They save money on top quality parts, and they find helpful people like Rocky Brown. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Rocky's the kind of guy folks go out of their way to see. He's good at solving problems, and he really knows his parts. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Towser, I'd like to get my hands on her.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to put her in drive.
Say hello to the Blank Road Dream. Coming to a track near you. Thanks and enjoy.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of additives and cleaners, like complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetics that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits, so your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have ignition.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road. Right now, buy any 2 SynPower products for the price of 1 with mail-in rebate.
ESPN Speed World today at Sears Point Raceway for the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series. Being brought to you by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. And by ESPN Video. Get your officially licensed NASCAR videos from ESPN Video. Third overall caution of the race is over Sears Point because of the crash involving Herschel McGriff. There he is, still atop the tires. He's been racing for 53 years, started in 1945, a member of the original Southern 500 starting lineup, and this is how he got into trouble.
Almost turned over, but it sets back on its wheels.
He was the Winston West champion in 1986. Apparently there's some moisture on the racetrack up in that area, whether it be grease or oil or whatever. But anyway, it may have contributed to Herschel going off. All right, Gilliland is making a pit stop. Kyle?
Butch has come in, and they're changing left side tires. There's a ton of different strategies going on here. There's right side changes. There's left side changes. These guys run a wide 5 pattern, too. It's not your typical Winston Cup type wheels, as you can see by the end of the picture here. Oh, he stalled the car as he's getting ready to leave here. Pushing off. He's got the fire. Almost. There he goes. He's gone now.
Gilliland makes his way back out onto the racetrack. Under this caution, we have completed 28 laps. There are tires everywhere. There's one just past the start-finish line, BP.
Well, I think that Mark Reed, the 73 car, when he drove by the Herschel McGriff Chrysler, picked up that unwanted rider, and he pushed that tire all the way around to the start-finish line before it would dislodge from the front of his car.
There's Mark from Bakersfield, California, running 8th. This is how that occurred. He was kind of blinded by that car ahead of him, didn't see the tire, and pushed it all the way around to just past the start-finish line.
Almost 2 miles he pushed that tire around.
Looked like he damaged the front of the car very much. A little debris out there, huh?
Yeah, that's a little rod probably that they put on the fender to push the fenders out to give them downforce on the front. Probably off Herschel's car after he made some contact with those tires.
Still awaiting the wrecker to arrive up there at the top of the hill in turn 3, where Herschel McGriff has gone off the racetrack. We'll be back at Sears Point in a moment.
Want more channels, more movies, more great programming, and a great way to find it all? Get TCI Digital Cable. With our on-screen guide, it's easy to find out what's on and what's coming on. Browse other channels without leaving the one you're on, or just go right to your favorites. Even lock out what's not for your kids. With TCI Digital Cable, you don't just get more television, you get more out of it. Call to hook up.
Duke, get down. It's my chair. Let's go. I'm not playing games.
Okay, here we go again.
Oh, Duke.
He's got him right where he wants it. Just a bit outside.
Hey, those dog obedience classes really paid off.
When Phoenix meets the Liberty, we got that possibility. Overtime. What time? Overtime. What time? When Phoenix
Well, the wrecker has pulled Herschel's tires off the tires, although there are several that lodged under the car itself. So the cleanup is going to be a while up there at the top of the hill in turn number 3. You see the rest of the field going by. Bill, what's the pit strategy being thought about down there now?
A lot of it being played out down here, Bob. In fact, some guys that are only going to take 2 tires have already been in. But a lot of these crews seem to feel it's going to take a 4-tire stop to win this race. Again, you can only take 2 tires under caution. So most of your leaders, like Hubert and the rest of those guys up at the front, they want to get 4 tires. They're going to wait for the green flag to come back out. You'll have to take the green on the track, then look for them to pit first time by. They'll be able to get their 4 tires. The big question is, can they get back out before the field comes around? So it's a 4-tire stop versus a 2-tire stop strategy. The 2-tire guys have been in. The 4-tire guys should be in as soon as we go back to green, and they should have enough fuel to get to the finish. So we'll see how it plays out.
Well, the 4th annual X Games continue tonight on ESPN at 8:30. At that time, you'll see Dave Mira go for the gold 3rd of the games in Bike Vert, while Tony Hawk and Andy McDonald get some major air in an F-18. And then again at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, you'll see more continuing coverage of the 4th annual X Games in San Diego. 29 laps have been completed here at Sears Point out of 64 that make up the Yahoo Sports 200 at Sears Point. Back in a moment.
Although the GSX-R 750 just won back-to-back AMA Supersport championships, and the GSX-R 600 had the most AMA 600 Supersport victories, we weren't satisfied. We made over 20 major improvements to the 600 and gave the 750 electronic fuel injection. Now even its shadow can't keep up. The GSX-R 600 and the GSX-R 750 from Suzuki.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of additives and cleaners, like complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetics that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits, so your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have ignition.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road. Right now, buy any 2 SynPower products for the price of 1 with mail-in rebate.
You're fighting for the honor of your country, and you can't even use your hands. This is no game. This is World Cup. Second round action, Monday at 10:30 and 3 on ESPN.
Back at the Yahoo Sports 200 for the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series. 30 laps completed. We're just about halfway. And under caution, they finally got Herschel McGriff's car off the racetrack. This number 4 car, driven by Dennis Dyer, started in 12th position, is running 4th.
Brian Germoni is the 5th place car, and he started 13th. So both these cars making some progress towards the front.
Dennis Dyer, by the way, has finished 4th the last 3 years in a row here.
And check this out. This blue car right there in our picture, that's Kurt Busch. And folks, he's running in 9th place. Well, and if you look on the list, he started in 19th, but he really didn't.
Right.
He started in 42nd spot because he missed the driver's meeting. Kyle Petty?
He missed the driver's meeting, so they sent him to the back of the field. He had to start at the very back. After 4 or 5 laps, he'd worked his way up 5 or 6 positions. Unbeknownst to us, because we hadn't been paying any attention to him, watching the front of the pack, he'd worked his way up and had pitted on lap 20th. So he's already had his pit stop. They changed both rear tires. His strategy is to go from here the rest of the way on the fuel that he has and on the tires he's got. 2 or 3 guys in front of him have to pit, so he thinks he'll pick up a couple of positions there. I joked with his crew chief. I said, so, missing the driver's meeting helped? And they said, in this case, it may have.
That is good strategy. If he's good to go the rest of the way, then he is in good shape.
He's from Las Vegas, Nevada, and is the leading Rookie of the Year contender. We are under caution. Came out on lap number 27. This is what happened to Herschel McGriff.
And you can see tires going every place. Another shot as Herschel gets up in the tire barrier.
Over on two wheels and almost tips her over, but it comes back on all four. 31 laps are about to be completed. We'll take another break while we're under caution here and be right back.
Duke, get down. It's my chair. Let's go. I'm not playing games.
Okay, here we go again.
Oh, Duke.
He's got him right where he wants it. Just a bit outside.
Hey, those dog obedience classes really paid off.
Okay, when I say McDonald's, chicken McNuggets. I know, I hit the gong. In honor of Disney's new movie Mulan, the epic adventure about this cool girl who saves China. McDonald's is offering tender, crispy chicken McNuggets and a new Szechuan sauce for a taste of the East. And please hurry, or Gong Boy over here may never stop.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of additives and cleaners, like complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetics that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits, so your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have ignition.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road. Right now, buy any 2 SynPower products for the price of 1 with mail-in rebate.
You're watching the field under caution here in the Yahoo Sports 200 for the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series from the Pennzoil Copter Cam. There it is, flying around in the beautiful blue skies of the Sonoma Valley, about 45 miles north of San Francisco. Hi, guys.
Hey there. They're waving to you, Bob.
Yep. You see the field moving down through the S's now. This time around, they'll complete half the race, 32 of 64 laps completed.
And we'll also get the green flag this time by. And we can expect to see this guy, the Wind River Casino car driven by Tom Hubert, come in the pits the next lap if Bill Weber is, if they've told him the truth.
Yes.
I wonder if they told Weber the truth or they lied to him.
We'll know shortly, won't we?
There we see the pace car. The lights are off atop the pace car, which means that when they get to the start-finish line, the green flag will be waved. But first, they've got to go around that hairpin, which is turn 11.
And look at the field close up here as they anticipate the green flag.
Hubert, Biffle, Chris Rodman, Dennis Dyer, Brian Jamoni, Steve Petty. Pace car is accelerating, getting away from the field.
It will go straight while the field makes a slight left-hander and gets the green flag.
Wow.
Craig Rodman, that black car, pulled out early to try to get a few positions picked up and didn't. And, oh, he almost spun.
He almost did make some contact with a 61 car, Michael Oslip.
Lost a position or two because of it.
So far, so good. Oh, and Kurt Busch is off the track. He made such a great run. Is up to about the 9th spot, 10th spot, and got off the track up in turn 3.
Buddy's back on.
Kenny Shepard follows the cars down through the chute.
Well, let's see what happened to Kurt Busch. Watch the blue cars up here in the middle of your screen now.
And we see that Kurt Busch comes in there and just goes straight. Looks like the right front tire might be flat. I know the car didn't turn like maybe the right front tire was flat. We'll see. Let's see Now, we talked about these guys making pit stops. Are they going to? Yes, Biffle is coming in.
Second place car comes in for the pit stop. Bill Weber, he's headed toward you.
And watch when Greg Biffle pulls on to pit road here. We talked about how difficult it is for these crews to pit their car. Well, he does have a relationship with Roush. He drives for him in the Truck Series. They went and got guys from the Cheerios crew of Johnny Benson to pit this car. They have some trouble with the jack on the right side. Now they're pumping up the right side. This should be a 4-tire stop under green. Steve Neal, who's the team manager for Johnny Benson, is down here overseeing this. They come around to the left side. Remember, these teams don't want to lose a lap while they're on pit road. Another crash on the track. Meanwhile, left side's going on for Greg Biffle. The 87 car has crashed.
That, of course, is M.K. Kanke, the points leader. He's buried his car over the tire barrier, and you can see he's trying to get the car rolling again, but again, some tires are lodged underneath the car, preventing him from doing so.
And Biffle is able to get by before the leader comes back around, so now he has his 4 fresh tires, and he's good to go.
And a lot of other guys up front are in need of a pit stop soon. This, I assume, is going to bring out another overall caution, although we do not see it yet. Here is the leader coming in, Bill.
And Tom Hubert, now the caution will come out. We will have a full course yellow. Hubert coming down pit road. Let's see if he stops. He's going to swing into his pit stall, and the crew will go to work. Now, he is eligible to get 4 tires here because he came onto pit road when the green flag was out. Rodman is also on pit road, just 2 stalls ahead of the 30. So Hubert getting right side tires, fuel going in. It looks like it could be lefts only for Rodman. Again, these teams do not want to lose a lap on pit road. Long time on the right rear on the 30 car. Now they'll swing around. He's got plenty of fuel in there. They know they can go the distance from here. Left front going on the 30. Now we're waiting on the left rear. Waiting on fuel on the 93 for Chris Rodman. So now Hubert is down and away. He's got his 4 tires. He should be able to go to the finish. And now the 93 car stalls out on pit road, gets a push, gets it restarted, and he heads out.
So Tommy Hubert, Chris Rodman, Dennis Dyer make their pit stops and able to change 4 tires because they were on pit road when the caution flag came out. Great move by these guys to dive in.
And we had heard that Brandon Krause was penalized 4 laps because he changed 4 tires when he wasn't supposed to.
Yes. On the caution flag, they can only change 2 tires on the caution. Brandon changed 4, penalty 2 laps per tire.
We are under our 4th caution because M.K. Kanke, who had moved from 22nd starting position to 9th, has crashed into the tire barrier.
It happens every year in some of the most remote stretches of land in Mexico. And in the world of off-road racing, it's truly the whole enchilada, the legendary Baja 1000. A mountain of dust for those who can stand to eat it, and the end of the line for those who can't. That's why more drivers who challenge the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast you can rely on in your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
At Plank Road, we don't do everything well. Fortunately, beer is something we do well. Ice Hops, thanks and enjoy.
Tonight, the X Games explode on day 8.
Can't go to the X Games, they'll kill you.
Dave Mira is smooth, but Dennis McCoy has a few tricks of his own. Bicycle stunt vert.
Go.
Meanwhile, it's skateboard street. Chris Sen takes on all comers.
I need my board.
And barefoot jumping. Finals. Will Peter Fleck make his leap to victory, or will Ron Scarpa leave him in his wake?
Want him dead?
The X Games, tonight at 8:30 and 12:30 on ESPN.
It's an interleague assault on the Big Apple when Tino and the Bombers battle for bragging rights against Piazza and the boys from Shea. Yankees, Mets, tomorrow at 8 on ESPN. It's a grand game.
It's ESPN Speed World at Sears Point today as we have action this weekend. RPM tonight at 7 o'clock tonight, followed by NASCAR Winston Cup Happy Hour at 10 Eastern Time on the Deuce. Tomorrow, RPM today at noon and NASCAR today at 3:30. The St. Mark Cragen 350 NASCAR Winston Cup race is at 4 o'clock. Now between RPM today and NASCAR today, you'll be able to see the Lysol 200. That's the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division competition from Watkins Glen, New York. That's on live at 12:30 Eastern tomorrow afternoon. Down to Bill Weber.
And Chris Rodman has just left pit road. As you'll recall, before we went to commercial, he'd come in when the green flag was out and then the caution came out. He pulled onto pit road while the green flag was still on the racetrack. Well, apparently his crew was not clear on the rules. They thought they could only change 2 in that situation, so they changed 2 left side tires. They saw Hubert's crew changing 4, realized they'd made a mistake. They could have changed 4. Instead, they had to bring Rodman back in for a second stop to put on his right side tires.
That's a tough break. Really tough break.
Well, there is M.K. Kanke's car. It's finally off the tire barrier. And the track crew is busy stacking up those tires again to recreate the crash wall.
This is up coming off turn 3, I suppose. Looks like the old racetrack goes to the right there. They no longer use that. We see the cones. It says don't go that way. Continue on the chute.
M.K. Kanke won 4 times in Southwest Tour competition last year, leading all other drivers. And again, is the points leader going into this race, but he's not going to have a very good finish because of this incident.
And evidently, while trying to get off those tires, he has broken something on his car because not able to, once he got off the tires, he's not able to drive back to the pits.
All this is happening, as you can see from the Pennzoil copter cam, up on top of the hill, just as they go downhill from turn number 4 into the chute. And they are going to be using the old part of the racetrack, if you will, the 2.5 miles, to get that car off of the racetrack.
There we see the old racetrack. He's going down through turn 4. That's turn 5 where the trailer's parked, up the hill to the carousel.
36 laps have been completed out of the 64 to make up the Yahoo Sports 200. Back in a moment to Sears Point.
In June on Stars.
At Carson City's Oak Outlet, not only will you get the best quality oak, pine, and maple furnishings at Northern Nevada's absolute guaranteed lowest prices, you'll also receive the best service before and after the sale. Carson City's Oak Outlet is Northern Nevada's original discount oak dealer, established by Mike Lavin. With over 14,000 square feet of quality oak, pine, and maple furniture at the lowest possible price, shop and compare. Then make the easy drive to savings at Carson City's Oak Outlet, located just east of Scalari's on Highway 50 East, where they work on service, not commission.
Women's golf elite gather to battle it out. Can one of the new guard bring home the prize again, or will 4-time runner-up Nancy Lopez finally kiss the cup? The 1998 U.S. Women's Open. Coverage begins Thursday at 3 on ESPN.
Looks like we may be going green here this time around at the conclusion of lap number 37. Steve Petty is the leader of the race. But Matt Crafton, remember how he had a flat tire early, came in for a pit stop, went to the back. He is already back up to 4th position. And because of some pit stops that have been made and some clever driving, he is back up to the 4th position.
Now the question is, does he have to pit again? If he doesn't, he's in good shape. If he does, he's in trouble. Walter and Louise will not be happy. That's 2 right. Bulldogs that Matt and his mom and dad bring. Bill Weber?
Benny?
Yes.
They don't know, but they're not stopping. They stopped on lap 20, took 2 left side tires because the car had a real bad push. So they put on the left side tires, they filled it with fuel, and they sent him back out. So this could be a pretty big weekend for the Petties, and it could start today. No pressure on anybody named Petty tomorrow if a Petty wins today, would you say?
No, no.
No pressure here, man. All the pressure's off. I made the race. That takes all the pressure off me.
And in fine fashion, I might add, as the green flag comes out and we go back to competition. Now that second car in line is Craig Rodman. He is a lap down, so he'll be trying to get back on the lead lap here. It looks like he's having much success right now. The leader of the race is the 01 of Steve Petty. Running in second spot is Michael Alsop in 61. Back in third would be Mark Reed, and then comes Matt Crafton.
Never see Crafton trying to get a run on Mark Reed. That's right at the very back of the picture. Now, someone's getting a run on Matt Crafton.
Whoa, is he?
Wow. Is that Portingay?
Yes, it is, I believe. He passes Crafton. Yes, it is Portingay.
On your left.
Now he's looking for third position, trying to get around Mark Reed through the S's. Not a real great passing area, but he got it done.
Wow. What's up with Portingay there?
Man, looked like he was shot out of
a canyon.
Yeah.
Mark
Look
Reed
at this.
trying to
right.
Oh, they're right behind them, and Matt, don't look up in the mirror because there's a mess back there. It'll scare you to death. Look back there. That's Kenny Shepard, Darrell Moore, and the 50 car of Dave Bird in the corner 3 abreast.
Bird is 2 laps down back in 32nd, but he got involved in a real big mess. Oh, look at this. Wow.
And Darrell Moore, Kenny Shepard didn't get to the corner very well, and Darrell Moore almost, and I see right now Mark Reed, the 73 car, is holding the train up.
Yep, that's Crafton right back of him in 46. We're looking back on Darrell Moore.
Well, you ever see Matt Crafton's diving to the inside, and he takes a spot away from Mark Reed.
That's 4th. He goes into 4th position, putting Reed back to 5th.
And Reed is really struggling right now as Kenny Shepard goes by. And meanwhile, there's Kenny Peterson, Darrell Moore, and they're trying to go. No, thank you very much for not trying that. 3 abreast to the S's, not too smart. But Peterson in 21 takes the spots away.
Up front, meanwhile, it is still Steve Petty leading, and Rodman has not gotten his lap back yet, but he's a lot closer than he was.
There's Mike Alsop, the second place car.
It's about 3 seconds between first and second position. And that last lap.
Oh, and there's Lamore and 17 of Reed get together, and Reed holds on, and here we see the 50 car Bird trying to dive on the inside of Lamore. And Bob Lyons in 44, he's back there watching all this.
That 73 car hit a
off.
tire earlier, and looks like he's off pace here for a moment at least.
Oh, he's having all kind of problems right now.
These guys are having some kind of battle.
There's 12 cars trying to pass you one time.
That's Rick Allison in number 12. Oh!
Settle in right there. You'll be fine.
Boy,
Settle in right
Lamore
there.
missed the corner.
That's Hubert.
Oh, that's right.
Tommy Hubert
I will
tries
not
to
be
work
able
his
to
way
put
back to the front.
Shifter handle is in my hand. Get the vice grip.
And it looks like...
Okay, guys, get it up on the right side. Get a pair of vice grips. I'll stick it through the hole, but you guys tell me what to do.
And Rodman continues to try to get that lap back. Craig Rodman. He's got a fast car, but just can't get the lap back from Petty. For Petty, it's only his 3rd start in this type of car. There is Michael Alsop running in 2nd position.
Portingay is closing in on him. That's Steve Portingay, the 14 car. And I tell you what, he was second in the points going into this thing, and MK Yankee already had problems, so he's looking at a very good day if he can just finish.
Yes, he is. And Crafton, meanwhile, has moved to 4th. There he is in the red and white 46, down to Bill Weber in Greg Biffle's pit.
Well, Greg Biffle's car is all chewed up. He's got heavy damage on the right side. He's got a flat left front. They're trying to lift up the car so they can slide the jack underneath it. They got that corrected. They pulled some of the sheet metal away. Obviously, a lot of traffic out there. His car got all beat up. He's got a new left front tire. He's back out on the track, and I don't think that car is going to run too well.
And we see that Rodman's been able to get by, and Portingay's been able to get by the second place car also.
So Rodman now finds himself on the lead lap, but back in 31st position. Got a long way to go. There is Alsop, who was just passed for second by the 14 car of Steve Portingay. Oh, Portingay up on the rumble strips, upsetting the car just a bit.
See a smoker up there someplace. That might be Biffle's left front tire rubbing some sheet metal, because it did look like he was been able to clear the debris, the fenders away from the tires as he left the pit area. Kenny Shepard, red on line, and Kenny Peterson. A battle for the 5th spot. As Shepard looks back at Kenny Peterson.
Shepard's best finish. In 94, he was 4th. Peterson looking high, looking low, can't find a place to pass.
So Kenny Shepard with his daughter Brittany this morning, who's going to be 5 years old tomorrow. And you know what she wants for her birthday? What? The trophy. He's got some big pressure there now.
Yes.
Shepard and Peterson once again a battle for the 5th spot. Kenny's got to get on the move because they don't give trophies for 5th spot. And Dennis Dyer and John Metcalf in 05 up in turn 2, and Metcalf is looking the wrong direction, but the car does start trying to get it turned around, going in the right direction.
They were back there in 20th and 21st position. And he gets back on the track. So no caution. Here it is. See what happened.
Well, there we see him, and just entering the corner, those two cars got together. Dyer goes around as Chris Rodman goes by.
Very, very close call for Chris Rodman. Okay, so the race continues. There is the leader, Steve Petty. His interval back to the second place car of Steve Portingay is about 1 1/4 seconds.
Portingay is coming. He's getting closer and closer. And he's been able to get by also. Steve Portingay right now, the fastest car it appears to be on the track.
And the 03 car of Jim Pettit from Prunedale, California has spun in turn number 11, but he gets the car facing the right direction, and so this will not result in a caution. Here's what happened to Jim.
He just gets in the corner a little bit too hard and almost runs in the back of the 74 car of Scott Busby. Wow.
There's Petty, there's Portingay. The interval is indeed shrinking. He cut the interval by 1/2 in just 1 single lap. And now he's within just a couple of car lengths. He may be trying to make a move here. Nice positioning of the car coming off the corner, but no, Petty holds on.
That was a great road course line to the corner, out really wide, trying to make that hairpin corner, trying to get himself to get off the corner as straight as possible.
That last lap, Portingay was the fastest among the first 6, running at 92.643. And as a matter of fact, the leader, Petty, had the slowest lap among the top 6 at 91.507. This battle for the top position, we can tell you that Tom Hubert has moved back up to 7th position.
He's about 13 seconds behind these leaders.
All right, the points as of now, M.K. Kankey loses the lead to Portengay. Bush moves up a spot, Metcalf back one, and Matt Crafton gains 2 position in the points if they were handed out right now. Now, once again, Portengay trying that move in corner number 11, trying to get to the inside of Petty. Can't do it. Another spin. It's Scott Busby, who came close to that incident down at turn number 11 a while ago, and now has indeed spun, but has the car rolling again. So no overall caution. 29 cars are still on the lead lap at the end of 45 circuits.
And see Busby going around up in the chute, the new portion here at Sears Point Raceway. And that smoke we saw a moment ago from Greg Biffle, I said it might be from Biffle. Well, that time Biffle went by the start-finish line and his car was smoking heavily, so he's not long for this world.
Very, very heavy. Well, now looks like that Petty's been able to open up a bit of an interval. He's got a couple of car lengths at least on second place Portengay. There is Greg Biffle. And you can see, as Benny said, that there is some smoke coming from the car. Not as much as a while ago, because I think the right side fender is not rubbing the tire as it was a while ago. And a
big crash. Wow.
That's Jim Pettit. And he went in hard.
Right over there in turn 1 is where he hit the wall.
Yeah.
Remember, Richard Petty hit that wall several years ago.
Yes, he did.
And the caution obviously is out now.
Well, we're waiting to see that window net go down, indicating that he's okay, because he went in very, very hard. Here it is once again.
And we see no contact, just lost the car out of that groove and one. Oh, man. Heavy, heavy contact.
Jim Pettit II from Prunedale, California, is the driver involved in the incident at turn number 1.
I don't know what he's waving his hands. I don't know exactly what that means, but
well, we see him moving around inside the car, so that's a good indication.
So Craig Rodman got his lap back, and also Greg Biffle. Now, if he can figure out where the smoke's coming from, maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah, we see Jim moving around in there pretty good. He's taking the steering wheel off. He's lowering the window net. He appears to be in good shape after a very scary crash.
Hi, I'm Rusty Wallace, and I race for beer. And now you can too. Go to any Hooters restaurant and compete in the Great Race for Beer sweepstakes. Win great prizes like racing jackets and hats. So make a pit stop into Hooters. Minute 15 seconds. Great time, girls. Hey, with a pit crew like this, who's in a hurry?
Catch all the excitement of the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series each week on ESPN2.
You can keep your car looking clean, but you've got to keep your engine clean too. Newly formulated Valvoline DuraBlend motor oil is a synthetic blend that suspends the dirt, unburned fuel, and water that cause harmful deposits and reduces oil burnoff. DuraBlend protects vital engine parts, so your engine runs cleaner and better longer. It outperforms all leading conventional motor oils because a car can look great, but it's what's inside that counts. Valvoline DuraBlend.
Suzuki has completely restyled the Katana 600 and 750, from their dual halogen headlights to their 4-in-1 stainless steel exhausts.
Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
So now they're just as impressive on the outside as they've always been on the inside.
From the Pennzoil Copter Cam, we're flying high overhead Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma, California, the beautiful Sonoma Valley, as we're bringing you the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series today, the Yahoo Sports 200. 47 out of 64 laps have been completed under our 4th caution of the afternoon because of an incident over in turn number 1 involving Jim Pettit. He did climb out of the car under his own power and is in good shape.
There we see Jim Pettit there drinking a glass of water. And we see the Jim Pettit in the white cars. He's trying to pass on the outside, just loses control. And when he comes back into the tire barrier a couple of times, and folks, it's easy to see why road racers have trouble with Sears Point. This is a tough racetrack, and you can hit awfully, awfully hard.
There is Jim. He's in good shape. He'll take a ride back to the pit area in the wrecker.
As we watch this crash once again, we see Pettit there coming into turn 1, the left-hander. He starts losing control back there. He really is in the loose stuff. Now, as he goes and hits these tires with such a tremendous force, it just knocks the nose off his car. And see that black thing right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the fan in front of the radiator.
Yeah, you can see the radiator flopping around there on the front of the car.
Yes, and there's the fan that cools it right there.
Wow.
And you see, there's no radiator, there's no fan, there's nothing there except the engines is sitting in there.
Jim Pettit is a very lucky race driver. Bill?
Well, Mark Reed's a very unlucky race driver. He sits on pit road, his car jacked up on the right-hand side. What happened here is that the gear shifter broke off. So they gave him a pair of vice grips, then that didn't work, so now they brought him back in. They're trying to bolt on a new shifter. So he's getting a little help, but it's taking a lot of time, and he's losing track position. He's an unlucky guy, Bob.
Yes, he is. Okay, well, we will take another break here. Be back in just a moment as we continue to bring you live coverage of the Yahoo Sports 200.
Announcing the new Miller Lite Scratch and Sniff Fantasy Sweepstakes. If you can smell it, you can win it.
It smells like beef.
Smell beef and win 400 pounds of red meat.
You tiresome fool, it's obviously suntan oil.
Smell suntan oil and you win the grand prize. Be an extra on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit shoot.
Hi, Jimmy.
Score! Tell me about it.
See special displays for details.
There are hundreds of lawnmowers to choose from, with a broad range of quality features designed to meet your needs. But the ones that have the edge to do the job right have one feature in common: a powerful, high-performance Briggs & Stratton engine. Make sure your lawnmower is powered by Briggs & Stratton, the power in power equipment.
Beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon in the Sonoma Valley of California, and thousands of race fans have turned out for this race this afternoon, and of course they'll be here for the NASCAR Winston Cup race tomorrow. Well, you can see the pole sitter back there in 7th position, Tom Hubert.
That fella.
Yes.
And I tell you what, I think these 6 cars in front of him could be in just a little bit of trouble, because I think right now Tommy Hubert is the fastest car on the racetrack.
Done a great job of coming up through the traffic. Here's the leader, Steve Petty. This is the first Ford Taurus in the Southwest Series. Well, it's all over for Greg Biffle, it looks like, right, Bill?
Sure appears to be that way. Greg's here and the car's not. That's never a good sign. What happened to you?
Well, we made a bad judgment there on the pit stop. We got caught out. We missed our window. I mean, we were in time to come in and do 4 tires and gas. I don't know what we were doing. Maybe we didn't get communication correct, but they didn't call me in. So I went on by, and then the yellow came out. We were really undecided what everybody was going to do, you know, and we knew better. We should have came down pit road under yellow, but, you know, the leader, we were playing a little cat and mouse, and he stayed out. I thought, you only live once, so I tried it, you know, and we were planning on doing 4 tires, and I thought that'd get us to the front, you know, of the field. But, and then, you know, in the back there, it's really tough to avoid stuff. And I want to thank the Cheerios guy for coming down, and those guys really went out of their way, came down and helped us change tires and stuff. And the team did a really good job today. I think we were being smart, but they were racing real hard back there, and it was really tough to stay out of trouble. And then they wouldn't let us make another lap and come in and finish the repairs, so unfortunately that put us a lap down.
But you got the laps you wanted. I mean, you got to come back here and race a truck.
Exactly. That was my whole goal, is to, you know, we made a majority of the race. I learned a whole bunch here, and when I first started, I had to loosen the belts and look up to see where I was even going. So we learned a tremendous amount for the truck race when we come back. So
okay,
I'm pretty happy.
All right, we'll see you at a truck race near you soon.
Thanks.
Drives for Jack Roush in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. You can see the lights on top of the pace car are no longer burning, and so we are set to go back to racing. Portengay, who was very, very fast and all over Petty before we went to the caution, is poised to make a move, maybe.
As they come by, take the green flag. They'll complete lap 49. Just 15 laps to go. And Matt Crafton dives into third place on that restart. Gets by Michael Alsop in the 61. And now we've got the leader side by side. Portengay with the advantage, and Petty slides off. Crafton just pulls him and knocks him into the tire there. And can he get the car moving?
Steve Petty is into the tire wall.
And Crafton has some damage to his car.
He's losing positions. Looks like he may have a flat tire. Well, looks like the pace car is ready to come onto the racetrack. Another overall caution is upon us. Wow. Going to take the wrecker and the track crew to get that Steve Petty car off the tire wall.
And we see a standing yellow means that the caution flag is out all the way around the racetrack. Looks like Petty's car is back on the racetrack.
Oh, we got another problem. This is Ed Lashkoff of Redwood City, California, who crashed just beyond the start-finish line. And we do have a report of oil on the racetrack. So this may be a lengthy caution. There's Steve Petty. He's out of the car. He's okay. But he suddenly went from leading the race to out.
And Moronsky is also, his car is sitting just past the start-finish line on the drag strip.
Looks like he has some damage to the left side of it.
Wow.
Out he comes. He's all right.
That's my trouble getting in and out of those things anymore.
Okay, let's take a look once again at how, Steve Petty is not a happy person. He's pointing his finger rather vigorously at
Portengay.
Portengay. Here it is again.
And we see Portengay dives to the inside. Has position going in the corner.
There was no contact whatsoever between Portengay and Petty. It was Crafton and Petty that got together.
And Steve Petty thinks it was Steve Portengay.
Yep. From another angle.
And we see Crafton just squeeze into Petty, and Petty into those tires and knocks him out of the way and not able to get his car going again.
But Crafton's car also suffered some damage. He damaged the left side of it.
Tommy Hubert, our pole sitter, sees this.
Well, the 46 car of Matt Crafton did have a flat left rear, has come in, changed it, and is back out there.
Now, Frank Moronsky, I don't know exactly what happened to him. We see, now he's a red car, and right there he makes some contact with Gimoni, and man, he slams the wall just at the start-finish line with the right side of his car.
Oh, he just went straight. Maybe a
like
flat,
the right
front.
Yeah, like the tire went flat or something.
No contact between him and Germoni, but man, he hit it hard. All right, down to Kyle Petty for a pit update.
The 61 car of Mike Alsop came in and changed right side tires. His right front fender was torn off. He was somewhere in that altercation, or somebody brake checked in front of him, and he got in the back of them. The 46 car came in, not only with the left rear, with the whole left side of the car worn off and the Goodyear worn off the left front. So somebody had been into the left side of him. So these two cars came in, made repairs, gone to the back. Not a lot of laps left. It's going to be tough for them to get back to the front.
Yeah, there's less than 14 laps to go in the race. Looks like they still haven't arrived at the Petty car. And yet other activity. This is the 31 of Ed Lashkoff. Boy, he got airborne, didn't he?
Wow. Man. Did he ever? He almost went in for in. Woo.
quite a ride for Ed.
So they're sitting there waiting for the wrecker to come pick him up and take him back.
So this could be a lengthy caution period. We've got a couple of cars that the safety workers need to get to and get off the racetrack. There are 22 cars on the lead lap. 2 cars a lap down. We've had about 9 cars that have dropped out of competition, including Greg Biffle. So finally the wrecker arrives at the car of Ed Lashkoff. We will be back with more of the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series.
Do you live in Carson City? Attorneys based in Reno, Tahoe, and even Las Vegas are advertising here in Carson. You deserve a local attorney insurance companies take seriously. Call me for a free appointment.
There's a store full of savings waiting for you at Carson City's all-new Oak Furniture Outlet, where now you'll find over 14,000 square feet of quality oak furnishings and more, including beautiful pine and maple furniture. The variety you'll find at Carson City's Oak Outlet is simply incredible, and all priced at the same everyday lower prices you come to expect from Mike Laban, the area's original Oak Outlet dealer. No other furniture store comes close to the selection and service you'll find at Carson City's all-new Oak Furniture Outlet, now located on the east side of Scalari's on Highway 50 East in Carson City.
High cholesterol kills, but here's good news. The new food labels will help you lower your cholesterol. The labels show you exact amounts of saturated fat that raise your cholesterol. Check the label. If the food's high in saturated fat, don't buy it.
Stop.
What's the matter?
10321 has changed to 10-10-321. So now when you want to save money, just dial 10-10-321.
Can I save over AT&T on all calls?
Sure. 10-10-321 still saves over AT&T on every call.
What about the 50%?
10-10-321 still saves 50% on all calls over 20 minutes.
So I just dial 10-10-321 before 1 in the number.
It's that easy.
Dial 10-10-321. You'll see the savings on your phone bill.
It's ESPN Speed World, and it's a Yahoo Sports 200 from Sears Point, and it's being brought to you by Suzuki, makers of fine motorcycles and ATVs, and by Valvoline SynPower. Right now, buy any 2 SynPower products for the price of 1 with a mail-in rebate. Under caution here at Sears Point with 52 laps completed. Don't forget the 4th annual X Games continue tonight on ESPN at 8:30 Eastern Time. Dave Mirra goes for the gold. His 3rd of the games in the bike vert, while Tony Hawk and Andy McDonald get some major air in the F-18. And then, again at 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, our coverage continues of the X Games. Tony Hawk and Andy McDonald, we understand, just did win the gold in the double vert, dual vert, whatever it is, skateboards. Anyway, they did win the gold, as we told you to watch for yesterday. So have you watched any of the X Games, BP?
It's a nice racetrack there. There's the new chute they put in. You see that where the pace car's coming across there?
You haven't lived until you see the street luge going down a hill on your back at over 60 miles an hour, folks.
Wow.
That is very, very... And I saw the sky surfing last night, which was... Woof. Wow. Brave people do that. And you have to be brave also to drive a race car, because we had a couple of incidents here just in the last few laps that were very, very scary. There, the wrecker has arrived at the 01 car of Steve Petty, who was leading the race and then got crashed into the tire walls in turn 2.
The wreckers are trying to figure out now how to pick the thing up. I guess they need to drag him off the tires first. Pretty bad angle to get the hook under the car, because the back of the car is sitting on the ground.
Yep. The front end is buried in the tires. See the workers there reassembling the tire wall. So right now, as we are under caution and awaiting the track to be cleared.
See, Steve Portingate is the leader. Kenny Peterson, the 21 car, is in second spot. Kenny Shepard, the America Online car, is in third. And
Tom Hubert is fourth.
Old sitter.
Yes. Look out for him when the green flag drops.
Kenny Hendrick, the 68 car, is now in fifth spot. And we see him the save mark car as he goes by. The 04 car of Chris Cunningham out of Washington is in sixth.
Buddy Dold from San Leandro is seventh.
And there we see the 70 car.
That's Kurt Busch, and he's back up in the top 10. BP.
He's up to ninth spot, so he's had an up and down day. We'll see Mark Reed, the 73 car, coming in the pits. '70 car, the car owned by Star Nursery out of Las Vegas, the car that Chris Trickle really and truly made famous.
Now, what in the world is that? I can only guess that that's being held by Kyle Petty. Is that correct?
It's pretty close to being held by Kyle Petty. This is a Kenny Dodd. This is we don't have Jack in the Boxes back east, but they say this is like Jack in the Box's son, Kenny. This is their good luck charm for the third place car, the America Online car. They put it on the antenna, but this thing don't want to ride on top, so he kind of blows off. So they have to take it off before the race, put it back on at the end. Nice little hat, don't you think, Benny? I'm thinking about getting me one for my good luck charm.
Yeah, yeah.
There is the 40 car running in third position, Kenny Shepard. Now on board with him. You see Ken Peterson up there in second position, kind of cleaning off the tires. Let's take a look at the rundown of how they're running at the moment. Busch back in ninth, Gilliland up to 11th. And Chris Rodman is running 14th now.
He's evidently is having some problems with his automobile. 16 through 30. Paul Dubé. See Craig Rodman back in 18th spot. He's been able to get his lap back. Matt Crafton is back in 20th spot. Michael Alsop running second just a moment ago, back in 22nd spot.
And now the remainder of the rundown. Apparently Herschel McGriff, after going up on the tire barrier early in the race, is back out there. He's only 9 laps down.
Wow.
Can't hold down the old veteran competitor, can you? You'll be 71 in December. All right, here's the most recent incident. It happened on lap number 50. Whoa! That's Ed Lashkoff.
Ever see Steve Petty in the 01 car, gets up with the tire barrier. Also at the start-finish line, Frank Moronsky just let the right front tire goes flat, all in the outside retaining wall, all crashed at practically the same instant.
Yep. Still under caution as the wrecker is not yet back in position, and they continue to work up on top of the hill near turn number 2. Now we are just about 10 laps from the end of this race when they cross the line this time, as they are doing right now. 54 laps go up on the scoreboard, and there are 10 to go, but the lights on top of the pace car are out, aren't they? Maybe not.
No, they're still on, because they'll go out up at turn 7, but unfortunately there still looks to be some kind of work going on up in, no, maybe let's see if the work is completed up in turn 2. Just a moment ago we saw Steve Petty in the tire barrier. Watch the entire field go by. Oh, he's gone.
Yep. Everything looks in good shape up there.
Well, good. So that means when the pace car gets to turn 7 to the chute, the light should go off, and when they come by the start-finish line, we should see the green flag.
And 9 more laps of competition to go. Let's hope we can stay green all that time. Once again, it It is Steve Portengay leading this race, with Ken Peterson running in second. Kenny Shepard is third. Fourth is Tom Hubert. And fifth is Kenny Hendrick. There once again is the top 15, now 16 through 30. Lashkoff just crashed, as did Moronsky.
And Petty.
And Petty.
Once again, we'll take a look at 31 through 42.
Down to Bill with a report on Kenny Shepard.
Well, Bob, they had to change the head gaskets in that car this morning, and Kenny had a real good car when they came here, but he thought it dropped about 400 RPMs when they qualified, so they thought it was a carburetor problem. They worked on that. As it turns out, they found out in happy hour it turned out to be the head gasket, so they had to change that this morning. And the reason they just changed the gaskets instead of the whole motor, well, they rented the motor out. Their backup motor, they rented out to another team so they could get in this race, so they didn't have a backup one to go to. So he's having a great day after a frustrating couple of days here. We'll have to see how he finishes here. Remember, he's the guy that a couple of years ago crashed head-on into our camera. Some spectacular video. He says he's used that moment to help his career because he was so positive after it happened. He's shown it to several sponsors, and they say if this guy can be that happy after a bad accident, we want to be with him. Of course, he's got the pole sitter right behind him, and that's the 30 car of Tom Hubert. He starts 10th tomorrow in the Winston Cup race here, and he's having a great day. He'd love to be able to pass a couple cars here and get to victory lane, but we should be in for 9 exciting laps here, and the pace car heads for the drag strip, and the green should come out.
Right now, Kenny Shepard's running in third position. He's finished fourth twice this year at Tucson and Bakersfield, so he has his best run going so far, but he's going to get a lot of pressure from Hubert, we anticipate.
And Kenny Hendrick has gotten by Tom Hubert on the start. The 68 car gets by Hubert. And Hendrick up there just pushing Kenny Shepard around the racetrack. Meanwhile, Portengay trying to get away from Kenny Peterson.
Boy, we thought Hubert would take off, and maybe now he's going to retake that spot. So Pitt Hendrick back into the 5th position. Looking back from Kenny Shepard to Tom Hubert.
Darrell Lamour is off the course. Looks like the left front tire is flat on his car. He's up in the chute.
You see up there in the box, he was running in 6th position.
And Hubert trying to get by in the corner. Is he going to be able to do it? Looks like he is. So put him up into 3rd spot.
Doesn't even have to use the out-braking technique, able to pass before the corner. The 68 of Kenny Hendrick trying to get around Shepard.
And right behind them in the 50 car.
That's Dave Bird again.
He's a lap down.
Yep. Back in 23rd position, a lap down.
Dave Bird was the winner of the consolation race here.
Hubert getting those left side tires off the racetrack as he tries to catch up now and maybe pass Ken Peterson. And he's going to be able to attempt the spot.
Kenny Peterson, the 21 car, at one time was an instructor UA. Now they're going down the eye of the hurricane. And wisely, Hubert backed off and said, this is not a good spot. Kenny Peterson, as I started to say, used to be a instructor at this racetrack.
Hubert got a little sideways and lost a couple of car lengths to him.
Now let's see, the last time he was able to get a spot going in turn 11. Can he do it again? On the brakes, really high line going in. He'll cut the cross. Oh, he's going to try to pass him on the outside. Not too good. Oh, now he's going to dive to the inside.
Oh, and if they don't make contact, they came really, really close. Hubert takes the position, I believe, from Peterson. Yes. So Hubert now up to 2nd spot. Boy, he had to work for that, but now look at the interval between 1st and 2nd. It's closing as Hubert has Portengay in sight. Meanwhile, back here for 5th. Now that's again Bird in the 50 car, and he is not on the lead lap. goes the interval.
It was a second and a half when they crossed the start-finish line the last time. This time it will be, I would imagine, just feet when they get to the start-finish line. Hubert closing right on the back bumper of Steve Portingay.
Is he going to try the same tactic? Go to the inside?
Looks like it.
And again, they're very, very close if they don't touch. Is Hubert going to be able to get the lead here as they head up through the corners? Not yet. They run wheel to wheel up the hill into turns 1 and 2.
Wow. Portingay hung tough. Oh, there's a little bit of a bump and around goes Steve Portingay.
Well, can't regain control of it. And he has stopped, now begins to move once again and get back on track. Wow.
That was his crew that I just saw that on top of the hill, and now Tommy Hubert is in the lead.
Important game. The 94 champion of the Southwest Series loses several positions, and now Peterson is in second position and is in hot pursuit of Tom Hubert.
I would guess now that Portingay will not take over the points lead after that spin coming off turn 2.
When they hit the line, they'll complete 59 laps, 5 to go. Hubert has led 33 of the 58 laps. Here's a replay.
Coming off turn 2. Hubert tries to get alongside Portingay. Can't quite make it as they let the car come back out. They accelerate, all of a sudden just in the back of Steve Portingay, and around he goes. Another shot.
Doesn't take much of a bump from the Pennzoil copter cam.
We can see what a run that the 30 car was able to get, and just right in the back of the leader, Steve Portingay.
And now from Hubert's onboard camera.
Right in the back of Portingay. Tough deal. Oh, and we see John Metcalf. Man, there's no tires there. There's nothing but dirt.
Metcalf, the 1997 Rookie of the Year. And once again, we have an overall caution on the racetrack.
That's almost the spot that Richard Petty crashed earlier. This is John Metcalf, the Remax car. Oh, no, there's a different car. We haven't seen that one before. Paul Dubé.
Want to remind you that coming up next on ESPN Sports Center with all of the sports news from the day.
Yeah, that's up where Richard Petty crashed.
Yes, that's in turn 1.
Yes.
Well, we had hoped to go the rest of the distance under green, but that will not be the case.
See Metcalf talking to one of the horse workers.
John comes from Aurora, Colorado.
05 is the car that you have.
Well, that thing is way off course, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The other car that went off, Dubé, had moved from 36th starting position to 16th, but his good run is over.
Pretty steep hill.
Yeah, it is. Liable to hurt yourself walking uphill as much as in the race car, looks like. 60 laps now completed, only 4 more to go, and I'm not sure if we're going to see a great deal of racing here before the checkered flag comes out. For those of you who have tuned in for SportsCenter, stay with us because we just have a very short time to go in this race, and as soon as we're finished, we'll send you to SportsCenter.
You can see that Metcalf was crashed in the S's, probably about turn 9. As he came through turn 9, it appears as the car went straight ahead into the bank.
Dubé once again crashed over in turn number 1. The ambulance has arrived at the scene. Don't think we have seen Dubé, have we?
I don't think so.
His car actually went over the tires.
Man is talking to him. Appears to be talking to him.
Yep.
But this race cannot end under the caution flag, so we'll see green, white checker. But now those guys that
It's like they are getting the stretcher up there for.
Yes, it looks like. Is that Paul that's getting out of the car?
No, I think that's a safety worker.
Okay.
Paul is from Victorville, California. You can see how that car went completely over the tire barrier. He ended up in a grassy area. Well, they have decided to red flag the race. They are going to stop it here and get the cars off the racetrack and, of course, attend to any medical procedures. Meanwhile, we are therefore going to send it to Sports Center and get you...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Center. Along with Trey Wingo, I'm Andre Aldridge. We've advanced to round 2 at World Cup. Also across the drink, they're working towards the round of 16 at Wimbledon, but we'll get started with Scalper's Paradise in Queens.
We'll start with baseball, and for Yankee haters, this has been a week they were waiting for. Without catalyst Bernie Williams, the 50-something Yankees had 4 with Atlanta, then 3 with the Mets. So, of course, they take 3 of 4 from the Braves and take Game 1 from New York, being the Mets, with Jorge Posada playing his first game ever at first. Perhaps George Steinbrenner summed up perfectly what's at stake in New York this weekend. Quote, I say whoever wins the series gets the new stadium. Mayor Giuliani, interested? This guy has too much interest. I wouldn't advise this haircut all the time. And Jerry Seinfeld throwing out the first pitch. I think Elaine could have done a better job.
Series is about to conclude the Yahoo Sports 200. Now, we red flagged it for a few reasons. There were 3 cars that crashed within just a few seconds of each other. They red flagged the race. Everything is clean now. We're ready to go. However, Kenny Shepard's car apparently won't start, and he was running in 3rd position.
Well, they'll just get a wrecker out there and give him a shove as soon as these cars get out of the way, and he'll go back to his rightful position. I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Now, one of the cars that crashed there for the red was Paul Dubé from Victorville, California. He was taken from the car on a stretcher. However, he was waving, appeared to be okay, but the 45-year-old diesel mechanic has been taken to a local hospital for a checkup, and any update that we have on him you can hear on Sports Center. Now, the 30 car of Tom Hubert went into the lead when there was an incident between him and Steve Portengay, and here it is.
This is for the lead. Turn 2 up the hill. We see that the 30 car accelerates, gets off the corner much better, and as he accelerates, tries to follow Portengay. There's some contact. Steve Portengay goes around, and Portengay goes out of the lead. Now I'm told that NASCAR is going to black flag the 30 car, bring him down pit road for a stop and go penalty. That means he goes from leading the race to 20th spot. They felt like that he did not use good judgment in running in the back of the 14 car Portengay.
Yep. So that means that when Hubert does come in for the stop and go penalty, that the lead will be going to Ken Peterson there in the red, white, and blue car number 21. And it will move Shepard up to 2nd and Kenny Hendrick up into 3rd position. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
With Mike Fleming, crew chief for Steve Portengay, and you guys discussed the incident. First of all, what did your driver say?
The driver said that the car behind him got into him, stayed into him at a high speed part of the course, and he was concerned about that. We knew Tom was coming. We knew he had better tires, and we're in the points battle. Tom runs the race every once in a while, so that makes a little different perspective for us.
It appeared that you lobbied NASCAR with your views of what happened in his report.
We expressed our opinion. Their statement was that they were going to review the tapes. We left it in their hands, and their judgment, they watch a lot of races, so their judgment's very fair in most cases.
And obviously they're going to bring the 30 down pit road at this point.
They're calling the 30 in for a stop and go.
Okay, so the 30 coming onto pit road for a costly stop and go penalty, and this will take Tom Hubert out of contention today.
Why is Kenny Hendrick in the 68 car following as well, unless he just needs some gasoline or something? Here comes Tommy Hubert.
It's a good question. Anyway, Hendrick was running in 4th spot. So the standings are really going to change now, as Peterson will be in the lead, Shepard second, and Chris Cunningham will move to 3rd. You can see the Portengay members of his pit crew were clapping their hands as
now he has to sit there and wait for the entire field to go by, because you can't pit, you can't pass cars on the caution flag. So he sits there when all the entire field goes by. The man gives him the go sign. Now he goes and will fall in at the very tail end of the field behind the 4 car of Dennis Dyer.
And that lap they just completed did not count. Is that correct? The scoreboard remains 60, so apparently after a red, they don't count the laps until they go back to green. So we still have 4 laps to go in this race. And it is Ken Peterson who has gone into the lead as a result of the penalty assessed to Hubert.
Now, the one break that Tommy Hubert will be able to get is he'll be able to pass all these cars that are a lap down. Right here, he goes behind the 34 car. Doug McCown is the last car on the lead lap. Under NASCAR rules, the caution flag with 5 laps to go, they'll line up nose to tail all the lead lap cars in front of the cars that are laps down.
Looks like the lights on the pace car have been extinguished, and we are going back to green when they cross the line. We have had 4 different leaders during this race. Hubert has led the most laps, 35. Steve Petty led 15, and Portengay led 9. And now Peterson has the lead. Here's a look at the top 10 as we're just about to go back to racing with 4 circuits to go. Kurt Busch up to 5th. Butch Gilliland is 7th. Portengay is 8th. Laskowski 9th, and Cunningham is 10th.
So all those cars are Chevrolets. The only Ford, Matt Crafton, back in 17th spot.
And again, a reminder that just as soon as this race is over, we'll be sending you back to Sports Center.
Just a moment ago, we showed you a leaderboard with 68 car Kenny Hendrick in 3rd spot. Well, obviously that was incorrect, because Kenny Hendrick had just pitted just a moment ago.
Yes, he came in with Hubert.
So the 22 car will go into the 3rd spot, Buddy Dole.
Pace car heading for turn number 11. As Peterson will lead them down for the restart. And here we go with 4 laps to go.
Experience at this racetrack than any of the other drivers, as Kenny Shepard, the 40 car, tries to close in.
Peterson beginning to pull away just a little up top of the hill. Now they come down for the chute once again. And now Peterson's opened up several car length advantage on Shepard. And another car off the track. That's Rick Allison. But he's rolling again, so it will not result in an overall caution.
Looks like all Peterson's got to do right now is just keep the car on the racetrack, and he'll be okay.
Let's see what happened to Rick Allison, number 12.
He goes up, and that's Cunningham that goes in and gets in the back of the 12 car, and around goes Allison.
Hubert giving him a bit of a push. Tom trying to get back to the front after the penalty. There's the completion of lap number 61. The interval between first and second is 0.6 of a second. We're on board with Kenny Shepard in second. Looks like he's catching right up to him again.
He is catching up. He is catching up. Maybe he can take Brittany that trophy for her birthday tomorrow after all.
As a result of Portengay's problems here this afternoon, M.K. Kankey is going to retain the points lead.
And look at Kenny Shepard closing right on the back of Peterson.
Oh, and another car is off track. That's Randy Laskowski, who was running in the top 10. Just ahead is the leader of the race, Ken Peterson. We're on board with Kenny Shepard, and they're heading for the start-finish line to complete the 62nd lap. And we've got 2 to go at Sears Point.
And I'm told that Matt Crafton is off the course, and there he is.
Yep. The 12th place car. So Laskowski and Crafton both, they were running 11th and 12th. Both of them have gone off course this past lap. Next time around, they'll get the white flag. 1 lap to go, and Shepard is again just within about a car length and a half or 2 of Peterson.
Going across a new section, the chute. Now down to the start of the S's. There we see Crafton's car to the left side, so
there's what we told you, the points as of now. M.K. Kankey is back in the lead, and his margin over Portengay actually lengthens to 21. The white flag is coming out from Bob Huntington, the starter of the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series. 1 lap to go. Can Kenny Shepard catch Ken Peterson? Oh, he is closing right up there, isn't he?
yes, he is. They go up the hill, turn 2. Shepard tries to close in, tries to make a run, can't quite do it. Now they go up the hill again. Wow.
He looks inside, outside, trying to find the spot over the rumble strips.
Now down the chute. This seems to be where Peterson is outrunning him down through the chute. Shepard backs off, goes in the corner, tries to follow. Now down through the S's. Not a very good place to pass. He's probably going to wait for turn 11, see if he can outbrake.
Headed for turn number 10.
You see Matt Crafton's car sitting on the left side. Now, can he outbrake?
We're going to decide it here in just a couple of seconds. Shepard may try the inside move. Don't think he's in the right position. Nope, Peterson wins the battle off corner number 11. And here he comes to the start-finish line, and Ken Peterson wins it by, less than a car length over Kenny Shepard.
And those boys are happy. Don't hurt each other now down there.
Peterson won here in 91, finished second in 92. This is his first start in the NASCAR Featherlight Southwest Series in 1998. He's decided he's going to run 3 or 4 races this year, but he has himself a victory. Shepard finished officially 0.13 of a second behind. Kurt Busch finished in 3rd spot. Chris Rodman 4th, and in 5th position was Bob Lyon. Then in 6th position was Craig Rodman.
Steve Portingay would finish in 7th spot, Michael Alsop in 8th, and our pole sitter Tom Hubert would finish in 9th spot, and Butch Gilliland in 10th.
Take a look at the unofficial results now as Peterson is on the cool-down lap headed toward victory lane.
And there we see 11 through 15, Spangler, Hendrick, McCown, Germoni, and Allison.
We'll be here tomorrow, of course, for the Save Mart Cragen 350 NASCAR Winston Cup race at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. We urge you to be here because Jeff Gordon will start from the pole position, and it should be a great race. Sports Center is coming up. Andre Aldridge and Trey Wingo ready to bring you up to date from Sears Point. Thanks for being with us. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Still out there digging. Well, looks like he's coming in now, but he's put many laps